Have you ever just stopped and wondered about the name Bluetooth? I mean, it's everywhere. We use it all day, every day, but that name, it's actually hiding this incredible ancient story. And today, we're gonna dive right into it.
Seriously, think about it. Every single time you pair your headphones or your phone connects to your car, you are, in a way, giving a nod to a Viking king who lived over 1,000 years ago. It sounds completely random, right? But here's the thing. That weird connection is actually the perfect way to understand what Bluetooth is all about.
So, how on earth did a Scandinavian king become the namesake for one of the most important technologies of our time? Well, believe it or not, the whole story starts with a total accident.
Yep, you heard that right. The iconic name we all know was never supposed to be the final name. It was just a temporary code name, a placeholder. They jotted down while the marketing department was busy trying to cook up something, really cool.
It's pretty wild to think what could have been. The two frontrunners were radio wire and PAN, which stands for personal area networking. But they ran into a couple of snags. The term PAN was already all over the internet, and doing a full trademark search for radio wire was just taking way too long. The launch date was getting closer and closer, so they just had to go with the placeholder, Bluetooth.
So where did this temporary name even come from? Well, you can thank a guy named Jim Carduck from Intel. Back in 1997, he was in a meeting, and as it turns out, he'd just been reading a history book about Vikings and this one particular Danish king, Harald Bluetooth Gormsson. And just like that, a random bit of history became the code name for a tech revolution.
And the story gets even cooler, because the connection doesn't just stop with the name. I mean, take a really close look at that logo you see everywhere. That is not just some modern abstract design. It's pulled straight out of Viking history. It's something called a bind rune. And this part is just genius. The logo is actually two ancient Norse letters, or runes, fused together. You've got Hagal, which looks kind of like an asterisk, for the letter H. And you've got Björken, which looks like a B, for B. Smash them together, and you get HB, Harald Bluetooth. His initials are literally on billions of devices all over the world.
So, you gotta be asking, why this king? Of all the historical figures out there, why was Harald Bluetooth the perfect, if accidental, mascot? The answer really gets to the heart of what this technology was trying to do. Okay, this is where it all clicks. King Harald's one big claim to fame was that he united all the scattered, warring tribes of Denmark into a single kingdom. The creators of Bluetooth technology have the exact same kind of mission. They wanted to unite all the warring tribes of devices, our phones, our computers, our headsets, which were all using their own different incompatible cables and ways of talking to each other. The goal was simple, really. Create one universal, short-range wireless standard, a single language that all of our personal gadgets could speak, so we could finally get rid of that tangled mess of cables we all used to have in a drawer somewhere. And did this modern-day King Harald succeed in building a new kingdom? Oh yeah, you could definitely say that. By 2021, companies were shipping almost 5 billion Bluetooth chips every single year. That is a kingdom on a scale the original Harald could never have even imagined. I mean, just think about all the tribes in your own life that have been united. Your headphones talk to your phone, your keyboard talks to your computer, your game controller talks to your console, your watch talks to everything. They're all part of this huge, invisible kingdom, and it all works because of this one single standard. So how did this kingdom actually get built? Well, it wasn't the work of just one company. It was an alliance of some of the fiercest rivals in the tech world, who all agreed to call a truce for a bigger cause. The whole quest really kicked off back in 1989 at Ericsson. But the kingdom building started for real in 1998. That's when a group of tech companies formed something called the Bluetooth Special Interest Group, or the SIG, and they moved fast. Just 3 years later, in 2001, you could walk into a store and buy the very first phone with Bluetooth. And just look at this list of the founding members. You had Ericsson, IBM, Intel, Nokia, and Toshiba. I mean, these were absolute giants in the industry, all putting their rivalries on hold to create this open standard that basically all of us now rely on every single day. And once that alliance was formed, Bluetooth started its quiet, steady takeover of our world. It went from being this cool niche feature to something that feels like an absolute necessity. And wow, what an evolution. Remember these things on the left? That clunky single-ear headset from the early 2000s? That was peak Bluetooth for a lot of us back then. And now, look at the right. Sleek, waterproof speakers you can hold in your hand.
The technology has gotten smaller, way more powerful, and it's built into just about everything you can imagine. So, how does the magic actually work? Well, to put it simply, Bluetooth creates this tiny personal network called a piconet. You have one device that acts as the master, that's usually your phone, and that master can connect to and coordinate everything for up to 7 other slave devices, like your headphones, your watch, and your car stereo, all at the same time. But this kingdom hasn't just been sitting still, it's always evolving. Back in 2004, we got faster data rates, which was awesome for streaming music, but the real game changer was in 2010 with Bluetooth Low Energy, or BLE. This was huge because it let tiny devices like fitness trackers run for months on a tiny coin cell battery. And more recently, version 5.0 cranked up the range and speed, which is paving the way for the whole Internet of Things.
And that brings us to today. This incredible wireless kingdom, founded on an accidental name from a history book, is bigger and more powerful than ever. But what does the future hold? The original King Harald's empire, well, it eventually faded. And today, in a world with powerful technologies like Wi-Fi and 5G, Bluetooth has carved out its own essential kingdom for all our personal, low-power gadgets. The big question is, how will its reign evolve from here? What new tribes of devices will it unite next? It really seems like the legacy of the Viking king in our pocket is still being written. Thanks for joining this explainer.